Hi everyone, this is Aurora, and it's been a while since I've made a video, and I just wanted to give you a life update, telling you guys how I am. I honestly don't even remember when the last time I recorded a video for you guys was. So today is Monday, the 20th of October, and I'm currently home from school doing my work online because I woke up late and I just really wasn't feeling good, to be honest. That's the life of being chronically ill. You don't feel good all the time. If you're wondering why I'm in my pajamas right now, and that's because I don't really have any clothes to wear right now. I have to go look for some clothes. My aunt did a bunch of laundry last night. So yeah. I'm currently doing my assignments. Well, I only have really one, assignment. So yeah. I guess I'll just be telling you guys about what I'm doing, and I'm just taking you along for the ride, Yeah, so let's see. I go to a private school, and it's like a school for kids with disabilities. It's for kids with special abilities and special needs and stuff. And so in my school, it's a K through 12, so basically kindergarten. Well, I think it's a pre-K through 12. So I think we also have pre-K. I think. I'm not sure. I don't really remember. I know that it has all the grades, though. I do know we have kindergarten and 12th to 12th grade. So I'm a 11th grader. I'm a junior this year. And my school, so 9th to 12th, we do work online. So, we do most of our work online. Our school has a program they work with. They basically do it's usually for private schools, there's these programs online that help you with private schools with their work. So last year, my school used a program called Edmentum, and it's basically an online school program. And this year, we're using Harris Digital Learning. And right now, I only have one assignment, or one module, and that is Introduction to Nursing, because I want to be a nurse when I graduate. But I do still have a ton of, if you're not aware, if you don't know, I have a ton of chronic illnesses. I am basically a mental case, a medical case, and last year I ended up not going to school for half of the year, third, fourth quarter, because I had a ton of back related issues where I had trouble walking and my legs would constantly give out, and I was basically wheelchair bound, I guess you could say. Or basically, I was in a wheelchair and I was using crutches a lot. You probably know this if you've watched my videos and you've watched my TikToks. My back is still, I'm able to walk a lot better now. That's the update. Yeah. I'm able to walk a lot better now, but I still have some mobility issues. I don't need my crutches or wheelchair anymore, but my insurance is actually gonna come and pick up a lot of the stuff that they gave us. I'm actually gonna keep the crutches, the Canadian crutches. I don't know if you've seen me use them, but I'm gonna keep that. And I actually do have one wheelchair that belongs to us, so I'm gonna keep that too. It was my grandma's wheelchair from when she was alive, but I'm gonna keep that. And I'm gonna keep the crutches, but everything else we're giving back because, they charge a fee if you keep stuff. So we're just gonna pay the fee for the crutches because those are actually something that I want to keep. So another update, and that is my birthday was last month, and I didn't record anything. I haven't recorded stuff for you guys in a while, but an update, I am now 19 years old, and and if you're wondering why I'm a 19-year-old girl in junior year, because of my disabilities and a lot of my neurological disabilities, I am just really slow. I'm just very behind compared to my peers, and compared to a lot of people my age. Normally, people would have been graduated by now, but I am not a normal person. I struggle a lot, and I was in public school for my entire life. I went to a public school. I was in public school in elementary and in middle and like the beginning of high school. But then in 10th grade, I realized that I just could not keep up. I could not do anything. It was difficult. I was struggling. And after a while, and especially because I live in America, I really hope I don't, I want to try to describe this without getting triggering the YouTube demonetization system. But because of the violence and stuff in America, especially in schools, I got very scared. I got very, very scared of going to school. And also, I got jumped at school. I went to a public high school, and I was being bullied a lot in school, and I was being harassed. And this one girl who was friends of one of my friends, she started spreading a lot of rumors about me, things that weren't true. And I want to try to tell you the story without giving too much detail, because my friends do know I have this channel and I don't want to stir up the drama again. But if my friends are watching this, they probably know what I'm talking about anyway. But I also don't want I don't want anything bad to happen to me again, because even though this happened, I think 2 or 3 years ago, I am still traumatized by it. Everyone, even my friends, say that I was the one who started it, but I know I didn't. She was the one who laid her hands on me first, and in the legal system, quite literally in the legal system, if you lay your hands on someone, you are the one who started it. So with that conclusion in mind, she was the one who started it because she laid her hands on me first. Honestly, I don't even remember most of the incident, because unfortunately, I blacked out, and I actually passed out, and I actually collapsed onto the ground in class. So basically the whole story is, we were in algebra class, and we had a sub that day. Our teacher was not there, and I was sitting with my friend. And behind me, the girl and one of my other friends were talking, and she started saying, I don't really remember what she was saying, but I thought she was talking about me, because keep in mind, she had been talking shit about me for so long. At one point, she started telling people that I had told her to kill herself, which, if you knew me, knew that did not sound like me, because I had people tell me that to my face before, and I know how much it hurts, and I would never be the one to tell someone to do that. Plus, I was a very depressed person. I have BPD, and I also have bipolar disorder, so I was just an emotional mess, and I know how hard it is, especially as a teenager, so I'm just not the type of person to say something like that. And when someone told me that, I think I was going to French class, and one of my friends asked me if I said that. They said something like, why would you tell her that? And I'm like, I didn't say that. And my friend said, well, she's like telling everyone that you said that to her. And I said, I don't even talk to her. Like, I don't want problems with her. That's why I'm trying to avoid her. And so, after I found out she was telling people that, I got really, really upset, you know? And like, if you know anything about individuals with borderline personality disorder and bipolar disorder, you'll know that we take things to heart. We definitely take things to heart. And we take a lot of that hatred and we internalize it. And we just take things very personally. And we just take things people say about us and we take it to heart. And that can cause us to have very bad emotional irregulation. And I'm not even diagnosed with BPD. I'm actually undiagnosed, but I know I have it because my mom, if you know about personality disorders, you know that they are kind of, you know that diagram, the one that's like this, you know, it's like two circles and they're like intertwined. Well, there's like that diagram and there's like personality disorders, and there's personality disorders that are under the same tree and they're like separated into groups basically. My mother has antisocial personality disorder, and that personality disorder along with borderline personality disorder are under the same tree. And if you know, personality disorders can be genetic. And I've done my research, and with my own personal experiences, I do fit like 100% of the criteria for BPD. And I am just, if you know me personally, you will know that I show a lot of emotional regulation, and I also lash out at people when I feel like I'm being abandoned, or when I feel like somebody is like, if I feel like somebody in my friend group is like about to leave me behind, or like I feel like I'm being like isolated, I start to lash out a lot, and basically my personality completely changes, and it will go from distressed to completely like distraught, and I will become not aggressive like physically, but I will become emotionally aggressive, and I'll start telling people that you hate me and stuff like that. But back to the story, we were in class and I thought she was talking shit about me, and this had been going on for so long that she's been telling people stories and telling people that I've said stuff to her that I never even said, and I got really upset about it. And I literally stood up and I turned around and I started screaming at her to stop talking shit about me and telling people things that aren't true. At that point, I didn't know what to do. And she said, I'm not talking about you, like, you know, and like, I know that race doesn't really, it doesn't matter, honestly. I don't care about what race people are, but I want to keep in mind that where I live, majority of the population are African American. I know that doesn't matter, but I want you to keep in mind because I do feel like that has a little part of it. And I know that African American women are extremely strong. A lot of them are very strong. Okay. A lot of them are very, very strong. And I think that does play a big part in this. And especially as someone with a ton of chronic illnesses, I am a very weak person. If someone fight me, I will not be able to fight back. So in this case, it was a losing chance anyway. Even if I did lay my hands on her, I would lose anyway. So I knew that I wouldn't, that's why I literally did not fight her. I did not lay my hands on her because I know that a lot of my friends are African American, and I know through relationships with them that a lot of African American and people of color and Black people are extremely strong. A lot of them are very strong. And I had that. I've had that in my mind for a very long time, that I should not fight any of them because I know that I will fucking lose. I know that I'm a very weak person, especially as a woman. I'm very weak. And that's why I tried to not fight people, especially in that demographic, because I know that a lot of them would beat my ass. I know that they would take me down. I don't stand a chance against people of color because they will be stronger than me. I know a lot of them are stronger than me. I know it's kind of considered a stereotype, but a lot of the people in my school are fighters. A lot of them fight, a lot of them are strong, and I have seen like tons of people at that school fight each other, and I know that they are very, very strong. And especially the women of color at that school are very, very, like, very broad, very, like, not big women, but very, very, like, muscle large, you know, and they know how to fight. Like, I have seen videos at that school where women would fight each other, and, like, both women wouldn't even, like, they would come out with extreme damage. Like, I saw one girl get her braids ripped out. Like, I'm telling you, these girls, I know what I was dealing with. And that's why I screamed at her. I literally ran up to her and I said, why are you causing problems? Like, what the fuck did I do to you? And, I literally started, like, screaming at her, like, why are you doing this? Like, what is your problem with me? Like, why are you turning everyone against me? What did I do to you? And she literally grabbed my wrist and pinned me into the wall, like, basically pushed me into the wall. And I started literally screaming at her. And at one point I looked to my right and I see my friend who she was talking to, and I literally said, help me, like, I can't get her off of me. I'm a weak person. And after a while, I actually, I eventually lift my knee up. So basically, I, like, lifted my knee up to my chest like this, and I literally slid my foot up, and I kicked her in the chest. And because I know that I'm a very weak person, yes, but my legs are very strong. Surprisingly, at the time, they were very strong. This was, like, way before my spinal thing, but, like, at the time, my legs were actually very strong because I did a lot of walking in school, so my legs were very strong. But basically, I kicked her, and she flew into a desk, and after that, everything just kind of went black. And next thing you know, I woke up on the floor with a ton of guidance people, so basically people from the guidance office, standing over me, the special education teacher, the nurse, the head of guidance. Like, there were a ton of people standing over me. The classroom was empty, and, like, the nurse was taking my blood pressure. She said my blood pressure was extremely high. Like, it was so high, in fact, that she was afraid that I might actually have a stroke. Like, she literally said, I heard her say her blood pressure is really high, like, she could have a stroke. And, like, my heart rate was through the roof, my blood pressure was through the roof, and they basically told me I had to calm down. And I said, I don't remember what happened. And after a while, they did investigating, and I don't even know why people said this, but, everyone told me that I had started it. And because of that, I was sent home early, and I never went back to school. Because I had felt like the school system failed me. And especially since she laid her hands on a disabled person. She literally put her hands on me. And, yeah. So that's why I go to a private school now, because I just can't go back to public school. I have literally seen people fight right in front of me at that school. Like, I have seen people fist fight, like, box each other right in front of me on school campus, like, at that public school. And with all the cases of, you know, school, you know, I was terrified, and you know, they always say you never know, it could be your school next. And I was terrified of going to school, and that's why I go to a private school now, because it's a lot more secure, and it's less people, and it's people who have disabilities like me, and it feels inclusive, you know. Yes, I've had a lot of problems with this private school so far, but it's a lot better, honestly. It's a lot more manageable. Do I believe that what they told me before I went to the school, like, you know, because they did tell me a lot of the things about the school, like, they have, like, a nurse on station, like, they have a system where they can calm people down when they're having medical episodes. Do I believe that they were telling the truth? No. I think a lot of the things they told me before I actually registered for this private school, I believe a lot of it was kind of bullshit, to be honest. I think it was a lot of it was a lie. But I'm kind of stuck in this school. I can't go anywhere else because we've just tried so hard to, it's been a road. It's been a difficult road for me. I know that even if I wanted to go back to public school, my parents wouldn't let me, because they've already put so much work and effort into getting me into this private school that I know that I'm stuck here. I can't go anywhere else. And yeah, sometimes I do miss public school. I miss that, public school, the public high school vibe, I miss the aesthetic of being in public high school, I miss that, like, vibe, that aesthetic, that, aura, I guess you could call it. I don't know. But at the same time, I think about the pros and the cons, and I think that even if I did go back, I would have to face that girl again, and I don't want to. But yeah, that's my experience with public school as a disabled person. I felt completely wronged by the public school system. They literally just gave her a slap on the wrist. And I got in trouble. And, sometimes I do think it was race that had to play a part of it, because a lot of those people, like I said, are African American. And I feel like they would hate for... And also, keep in mind, I have had people be racist towards me. Yeah, shocking, I know. But, sometimes I do believe that race had a part in it. But, I just don't think about it. But, yeah, that's why I don't like public school systems anymore. And the public school system is kind of trash. And that's why I also believe that after high school, I want to work in the school district as a activist for school violence, against school violence, and against bullying. And also, I just want to be an activist for people who were wronged by the school system, just like I was. I do still talk to a lot of my friends from public school, but I'm not as close to them as I was before, mainly because we don't go to the same school anymore. But yeah, all I know is that I have to finish my sophomore work from third and fourth quarter sophomore year. And I also have to finish I have to do all the work for junior year. And then once I finish that, I have to go to senior year next year. And I have to do all that. And I don't even think, even though if I complete all my work for sophomore, junior, and senior year, I know I still won't have enough credits to graduate. So I'll have to probably stay another year in senior year. So basically, adding up all the time I'll be in school, I don't think I'll be graduating until I'm like 21, 22. And I feel like my experience as a disabled person will show you deeply how the school system is not built for us. It's not built for us at all. It's trash. It's just a one-size-fit-all kind of system. It's basically everyone has to be on the same pace. Everyone has to work the same pace, but not everyone works or can work at the same pace. And I know that if I had stayed in private school, I would have probably been kicked out, because I would have been there until I was 21. And in America, in high school, you can't stay past 21. Once you turn 21 in America, you're kicked out of school, and there's nothing you can do. So yeah, I actually want to use this channel for a lot of things, not just vlogs and talking about my conditions and my chronic illnesses, but genuinely as a student in America, a student with chronic illness and disability, I want to tell my stories about what I've experienced in school, just so you and anyone out there can understand what it's like, because I have a lot more stories than the ones I've shared in this video. I have a ton of others, and a lot of them go so far back, like probably kindergarten. I've had so many stories about how hard it is. It's very hard. It really is. It's really hard being a disabled person in America. And that's why I said that after high school, I am going to move abroad. I don't know exactly where I'm going to move yet, but my two options right now are Norway or South Korea. But yeah, comment in the comments below if you want to hear more stories about my experience in school or in America's school, because I definitely have a lot more stories I can share. And I am definitely open to sharing a lot of them. A lot of the stories, they don't upset me anymore because I've grown up. I've just kind of forgot about a lot of them. But I do remember a lot of them. I just kind of don't think about it. I mean, I used to cry a lot when I talked about the incident where the girl jumped me. The story I just told. I used to cry a lot while telling that story, but now I don't, because you know, sometimes those stories, as you grow, they don't really upset you as much as they did in the beginning. I've grown a lot as a person since then. I still have my issues, but I definitely see myself as a better person than I was back then. Do I think I should have handled it better? Yeah, I do. I definitely do feel like I should have handled that situation better, but I kept telling people about it, but no one was doing shit about it. You know, the best way I had to describe the school system is, you know, they always say we're against bullying, we're against school violence, but the more they say it, the more you just realize that they're liars, you know? Because they could say they hate bullying and they hate school violence, but they actively endorse it and they actively don't do shit about it. Someone can say that they're being bullied and they'll say, okay, we'll handle it, but nothing is ever done about it. And it's a double-edged sword. It really is. It's just, you know, if you're watching this and you're not from America, do I recommend coming to America? Nope. No, I don't. Take this from a girl who is European, but was born and raised in America. I am a 5th generation German, Norwegian, British American. My ancestors, a lot of my older generations, like 5 generations ago, came from Europe to America. And I was born and raised in America. Do I recommend outsiders come to America and live here? Nope. Do I think America's great? I'm not a big fan of America right now. America, you need a lot of work. You need to work hard because things have to change. You need to accept the fact that there are people like me out there with disabilities and chronic illnesses who can't fit with your standards, and you need to make more things accessible to us because it's ableist, honestly. It's very ableist. I have seen so many stories where people are like harassed for being in wheelchairs and disabled. It's sad, it's sick, it really is. America is not like how it was back in 2015 to 2019. It really isn't. It really isn't. America, it sucks here. Every day I dream about moving. I can't stay here anymore. It sucks, but I don't have money, I'm broke, and I am still in high school, so I still have to wait. I have to wait to get out of here. But if I could, I would. If I could go and leave the US, I would. I don't like it here. There are things that a lot of you don't know about the US that are, in fact, true. But a lot of those people are hiding it from the media. You have to really dig into politics to see a lot of the terrible things that are happening. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of that stuff on social media. And a lot of people tell me, you don't know, it could be fake. No, it's hard to fake something when there's proof. It really is. It's hard to fake something when there's proof. That's all I really have to say. This video is getting way too long. It's like 30 minutes, so, and I'm probably not going to edit this. I'm probably just going to post it right away because I don't really think there's much editing I could do in this video. I just wanted to post a video. I didn't really care what video I posted. I just wanted to post something to get my channel back on the algorithm. And, yeah, so I miss you guys, and I love you guys so much. But yeah, bye.